Hello, hello from the other side. Hi guys, how are you doing? Long time, long time, you guys. So let's just get straight into it. Um, I'm doing this for traders. I feel like I fell off the wagon on in terms of posting analysis. But I feel like I should come back and be posting analysis, you know, in a separate YouTube video one day, I'm going to talk about every detail and everything. So I want to start posting analysis here every single day for three main reasons. Number one, because the market is moving every day and there is always something happening, and we're in the year where um like there's a lot of volatility, so there are lots of opportunities happening in the market. Two, because it kind of keeps my trading blood flowing. And then three, because I know that there are traders out here that can draw inspiration from that. Now, note that it is not signals, but just me back testing what happened the previous day and then trying to see where price is going. So when you're trading, you're actually trading what is happening right now. Now, I don't want any razzmatazz with this. I don't want anything. That's why I'm just here like this. And I want to be showing my face, but I don't want any pressure that I have to do makeup. I have to I actually forgot my earrings. Let's move on. I'll share my chart soon and forget about me. But yeah, so much has happened in my life, so much, But one thing I cannot give up on, and I thank God for that, is trading. I feel like I am getting myself again. I feel like I'm coming back to myself, and trading has always been that part of me that's like, been keeping me going. So. Long story short, let's get to the charts. And let me share my charts for what we are looking at this week. So since we're going to be seeing each other every day, let's get into it. So I don't want it to be too long, so that you can just take what you want inside of it, right? So this is going to be me analyzing the way I trade. So I'm going to be looking at two pairs every day, mostly. So let me look at gold. This is what I have marked up for gold. But so far, my entry time frame is 15 minutes. Let me get out of the way here. My entry time frame is 15 minutes. And normally I'm not going to share my video, but I just feel like we have to connect. I feel like a lot of traders have given up along the way, and we all need to hold each other's hands, hands, so that we can get through this. Because trust me, there's a lot of money to be made, lots, and we're going to make it. We're going to make so much money. Okay. So let's get into it. This is gold. I want to see what gold did in the previous week. So when price opened on Monday, on Sunday, last Sunday, it immediately dropped down into a sell. And what initiated and prompted that sell? On Friday, price was at a level of a retest. Price was at a retest zone, right? We had this engulfing candlestick right here that validated that area as resistance, because you can see we had this reaction right here. One of the key things that I've taken note of is that you have to understand your levels, like where we have price as a retest, where we have price as, you know, where we have price as a retest, and where we have what price will react. So the last time this was like a higher low and then price went all the way up. Then you have this level of resistance here, um and then here, right? Oh my God, I look crazy right now, but that doesn't matter. This is going to be it because I hardly leave my house. I hardly leave my house, so okay, so back to the charts. Here we had this engulfing right here, and then still on Friday, then actually you have this supply zone here, the price created. You have drop, base, drop. Then you have these three candlestick pattern consecutive, these three consecutive candlestick patterns in my course, which is still very much active. Yeah, I talk about candlestick patterns in level 1, so you may want to get that if you don't understand what I'm saying. So this right here, you have this candlestick pattern as well. You have this hanging man here, and then price just dropped all the way. Now, in case, because there's a high chance that we didn't catch that move, so we could have gotten, let me delete this one out. So this is like a gap on a very low, this is like a gap on, yeah, this is an imbalanced candlestick. So there is basically a zone right here that price will someday, somehow, sometime come back to fill. So then price dropped down to this level right here, which is a 4-hour zone that was there before. That's 4-hour zone is a previous support level, right? Previous support level. And then when price dropped there, of course, it reacted and pushed back up, but it didn't really go up. We created this candlestick variation, CSV1, and then it pushed up. But now this is where the thing is. You already had that. So now we see that it continues or it's either it continues or a reverse. And you have such a strong momentum right here. Some people, sometimes you may be thinking, oh, it's going to come all the way back up to retest so you can join in. But we have this right here. And then when this created here, let me hide this. So this right here, don't let this divergence trick you. You have nothing to go. When this created a lower high, and that lower high validated with this Triceratops candlestick pattern, and then you had a bearish, you had a supply zone here, and then even if you had entered around here, you're still good because your stop loss will just be above this place. So price actually continued down. Price continued down, and that was around, let's take it from here, 440 pips. So what happened next year? The next move we had was a pullback, validated by a strong by exhaustion, and then what's it called here? Bullish engulfing candlestick. So we had gotten this trade. This was about 250 pips. And then again, price gave exhaustions in this area. So that area has acted as a level of That area has acted as a level of resistance right there, right? So how do we measure our resistance? We draw two touches into the future, and then when you got to this level, price give exhaustion candlestick variation. The next candlestick was a bearish candlestick. Then you have this right here. So you could you know, take this all the way to this level, and that was 170 pips. 170 pips. Let me get my pen. So this past week we calculated 440. Hold on. So remember, this is a back test. We are looking at what price did last week. So I'm looking at all the possible scenarios that we could have taken trades from. So normally when I'm back testing this, I actually write all of this like a story, exactly what I'm saying right now. I write it like a story and then I put it on, you know. So 140, this was how much? 240, this was 160. How do you know where to get out here? This exhaustion right here, this is kind of like a very minor structural divergence. You could have gotten out here, and also because it's retesting this demand zone. Everything here is minor structure. So then you could have taken it by right here all the way back to test this CSV. This is minor structure as well, and that's 120 pips. Now we could have taken this. Oh, I don't know why I did that, because I wanted you to see an entry level. You could have taken an entry here on 3 minutes, just so you have more to work off. So why was that a good entry point for 3 minutes for a buy? How did we know price was not going to come all the way? So looking at the candlestick patterns here, you can see exhaustion here. But after this supply zone here, we had a bullish candlestick right here. And then yes, we'll go back right here. So let me look for a trend line. I want to draw a trend line to see if we had if we had a break and a retest on that 3 minutes, which would have given us an immediate buy okay, we didn't have a break and retest in that area, but the buy happened. So anyway, we would have just looked at this divergence here. Divergence is where two things do the opposite right here, and then this bullish engulfing, and then this higher low candlestick. So that probably could have. And then when you look at it on the 15 minutes, you're seeing this right here. This is a strong reversal pattern here. And so you take that went bullish. Went bullish as well. So all right, so you could have gotten out of there. That did 120 pips. 120 pips. Then price is now at a resistance. You can see this exhaustion. We have these two exhaustions right here. That is a double top, and which is also divergence, because this did double top and then RSI did lower high. So after this candlestick, we could have gotten in here all the way back to this level of a demand, which is also minor structure. So there's money in minor structure. There's money in minor structure, and that did like, let's say 180 pips. Now, after this, on 15 minutes, we can see that price has not gotten low all the way to, it has not broken this high here. Actually, it has created a higher low. And this candlestick pattern is like a CSV2. And then we have this rally, base rally. This is a demand zone right here. So basically what we'll now be looking out for is for price to validate and then break an area or something. So, but what did it do? So it went all the way up here. So we may not have been convinced to take a buy around here, right? But let me. So since we have the higher low, right? We have this higher low here. Two touches draw into the future. Two touches draw into the future, which actually served, in the future. So what now happened on Tuesday, you had this push up. If you didn't take that, you have this one right here. So once price says the momentum is bearish, you may want to stick with that. We did not have any break on retest here and everything. I don't want to go down on 3 minutes, but maybe if you could have seen it, maybe it should have worked out. So you can study this on your own and say, but I can't see anything for me to take that buy right there. But this may have done it actually, but this level. Anyway, so now we have divergence right here with exhaustion. We have supply forming, which is a candlestick duration around this area. Then you have this. So there's, yeah, when you see divergence, this is like what's that pattern? Heads and shoulders, but it's not textbook, right? And you have a divergence lower high. That's what I call it, DLH, divergence lower high. And then you have exhaustion right here. You will take this to the trend line because at this point you've drawn a trend line. This is a valid trend line because this is a higher high, this is a higher low, and this is a higher high. That is a valid trend line, but you are aware that that is on a minor structure. So taking that there give us 200 pips, and then it bounced off this trend line. Now price did something identical here. This candlesticks right here formed, and then yeah, we pushed it all the way back to this level, which is now a resistance area, back to the supply and all. So that's 230 pips right there. And then price created a lower high because it did not break these highs right here. So you have that lower high, you have another lower high here. And then we broke this previous high here. We broke it, then eventually coming down to that trend line and breaking that trend line, then retesting that trend line to go all the way down. So this powerful, amazing move was sponsored by a break and retest. This is textbook break and retest, very textbook, right? Which is a continuation of major structure, and we were able to get that on minor structure. So you draw your fibs to know where price is going. While this is going on, you want to be aware of what price is doing on the higher time frame. So we have this, yeah. So now how could we have taken this price, respected the trend line? Price broke the trend line and then retested it with exhaustions, and then here as well retested it. This is the CSV1. And then price moved all the way down. So after that impulse move right then, that can be a very minor structure, point A to point B. Looking at price in detail, you have this pullback and this pullback here. Just don't think this is a W pattern because you have like divergence and everything. That's why we don't use divergence alone, because look at this. This is false information, false signal. So, but this created lower highs and kept creating lower highs and exhaustion right here. And then you had another candlestick variation, 1B or 1C right here. And then it moved all the way down before eventually going up. So that move that it did that we could have taken advantage of was how many pips? 530 pips. And then we have the second move, and this is Thursday, right? 5:15. So now by the time price came all the way down, I know I had this markup. When we had our analysis on Wednesday, in my trading room, we spoke about price coming down here. So that's what it did. It was about to finish up that sell. So now you have this bullish engulfing pattern right here. Now this is a higher low with this candlestick pattern. Let's take note of this candlestick pattern right here because we have seen it play out. I'm sure there is a name for this in the candlestick world, and I am sure I put it in my level 1. But honestly, like I said there too, I don't keep the names like names. But this is a powerful reversal pattern. We've seen it happen like 3 scenarios now. So this moved all the way up. So you could have taken this to from this level to that resistance, which is like 460. And then what did price do? This is a level right here. Price went all the way back up to that previous supply level, and then validated that supply zone, came down. This is also a very strong one. We can see did we have divergence? No. No. So we can see that we had a break of structure right here. We have this break of structure right here for price to actually move. So this would be a point A to point B, and then you would have entered here. This candlestick pattern here is actually the reverse of this one. So this is a bullish engulfing, like an order. I won't say order block. I don't see that, but yeah, price moved in and then went in for the sell. Now you could have taken this, and that was a whooping 600 pips. So now when price got market is now opened. So when price got here, it bounced up with some exhaustion. And now we have a higher low, and then price keeps going up. So now we're just going to wait and see what price does. So that's the back test. So I think this is basically a back test, more like a back test, not fully analysis or signal. I just want to see what price did in the past and learn from that. Okay. So I'm not giving you trades and everything. I'm telling you what I think for the most part. But yeah, in my trading room, that's where we actually go over that. But I think for these videos that I'll be putting on here, I want to just focus on what price did yesterday. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's it for gold, and we'll be analyzing this. Gold in general, fundamental analysis. I haven't even really delved into fundamentals a lot because of everything that has been happening, with the markets, in the charts, all of those, blah, 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 and all that. So, do you see that pattern? Do you see? Anyway, I'll see you guys next. I don't want this to be too complex because I want to be consistent with this. I really do. I really do. And let me give you a quote to start your week and to end your week. Something that's been really, really, really ringing in my head. I've like been coming back. I heard a trader a long time ago, Lisado. I don't know if that's his name, but I heard him in one of these trading conferences where he talked about, I just saw a clip on Instagram, and he said that the only prerequisite for being a successful trader is that you don't give up. And in my moment of when I wanted to give up in trading because I wanted to quit, I wanted to run away. I wanted to stop, like, because it cost me so much pain, and I just thank God for where I am right now. I just thank God for where I am right now. It's so amazing that trading can do that, but it can also do a lot. So one day I'll probably share the full testimony, but yeah, what was I saying? The daily prerequisite is to not give up, and I'm a living testimony of that. So don't give up on trading. Don't give up on trading. Don't give up on trading. If you're already in it, though, I'm not talking about if you're just coming in. If you're coming in, maybe you should go and do digital marketing or real estate or something. But if you've been in it and you know that this is the path that God has chosen for you, don't give up. All right? All right. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.